What's good, YouTube, and welcome back to We'll See You Media. Today's topic, are we screwed? Are we screwed, Philadelphia? Now, I did something a little different that I'll be doing every week, doing questions, taking them from you and answering it here. And the three questions that I got led me to the question, are we screwed? Everything I've read this week, from the offense to the defense, for them talking about Jalen Hurts, for them talking about A.J. Brown, are we screwed? That's the question I want to ask you. Now, today we're going to hit on that topic. We're going to talk about the offense, talk about the offensive woes, talk about the offensive coordinator, and then we're going to talk about the trade deadline. Because now there's a lot of information coming out, and when there's smoke, there's fire. And I believe Howie's up to something. Also, we're going to talk about some good news. I have some injury-less good news about what they saw today at Philadelphia Eagles training facility. Now, before we get started, I need you to hit that like, hit that subscribe. Help the algorithm to get me up in the system. You feel what I'm saying? Help me get to 50 subscribers so we can start going on live and I can start bringing better and more material to you. Not only that, comment below. I'm bringing you some facts with my opinions, and I want to hear opinions and comments from you. First two questions I kind of grouped together. The first question is, and this is coming from Timothy in Norristown. What's up, Tim? Is the run game broken, or does the offensive line failing to create any lanes for Barkley and Hurts? And then the second question is from J43276. Thank you, Jay. Can the coaching staff make necessary adjustments, or will predictable play calling continue? Well, I put those two together specifically because it's all about offense, and I have one answer, to be honest, to everything, and I'm pretty sure you know where I'm going to go with this. But first off, let's talk about it. Now, 2 weeks ago, I was talking about the plays being predictable. Lane Johnson, after the New York Giants game, was talking about the plays being predictable. And if we talk about the runs, we know where the runs come from. Now, Emmanuel Acho and another guy, Baldini or whoever, I think that was his name, Baldini, they both went on to watch the New York Giants game, and they pulled plays that they will show you and say exactly where the running plays come from. The pistol. We talked about that already, right? 2x2s. We talked about that too. They're running the same plays and normally to the same side, right? To get yards, and it's not working. You do that against me, William, and I'm going to be able to see it myself, and I'm going to tell the defense that I put out there to be prepared, because out of all the plays that team runs, this is all you have to do and be prepared for. If they run the pistol and they line up this way 9 times out of 10, it's a running play. Get ready to get Saquon. Formations. It's not a lot of formations. It is simply those plays. So the answer to your question, Tim, I believe that was yours. Is the run game broken, or is the offensive line failing? Offensive line has regressed a little bit. We don't have Mekhi Becton no more. Not only that, Landon Dickerson has been injured. So you have these people coming in and out, right? Lane Johnson goes out because he's been a little banged up. Cam Jurgens is a little banged up, yet he's still playing. So with all that being said, yes, there's a little regression with the offensive line. However, what would I do to make them succeed? You run more plays with different formations. You created plays so that Saquon can actually get some runs, and you don't run it on 1st and 10, 2nd and 10, and then all of a sudden on 3rd down, especially if it was short, you don't run the ball. These are predictability, right? So it's not really broken. They can fix it. It just needs to be some better plays. And a little help from the medical doctors for our players. Hopefully they'll become better and they aren't injured no more, okay? Now, I say all that to also say, let's go right into it. The offensive coordinator, because that's basically what we're talking about. Whether it's the offensive coordinator or Coach Sirianni. I don't know who's really making them calls no more. I know the offensive coordinator, Kevin's, making the calls. However, is there a reason that they're sticking with it, right? Now, Emmanuel Acho on his particular show, he was talking about that during the off season, they'll go over the playbook. It'll be 60 calls or so, and that's what they practice, and that's the playbook. And during the season, they may tweak it, or they have different plays that they may run for the other team, but there is no creating another playbook, right? This is kind of what we've already talked about as well. So Nick Sirianni this week went on to specifically say that they would find and search for solutions, and it won't involve play calling changes, right? I kind of figured that was going to come. So now that means we're stuck here, right? We're stuck here with the plays. I can say this. I don't think they've opened up the entire book, and I hope that entire book isn't the only thing we've been seeing so far this year. So I think they have to open the book up a lot more. And if they open the book up a lot more, not only that, they can make other little plays throughout the season, right? Because they're not going to get rid of the offensive coordinator. For those that want him going, he's not going nowhere. They are holding on to this. Whether they sink the ship or not, they're going to hold on to this. All right? But that doesn't mean that it's over. It just means they need to open the book, and they also need to be creative. Now, Nick Sirianni also went on and said this week, because I need y'all to hear this. This one kind of upset me, and I don't know. I'm optimistic, so I'll give you both versions of what I'm thinking. He said that he and Patello worked on the inefficiencies of the Eagles offense, particularly on third downs. He says that he found some solutions, and they are very excited to have the opportunity to amend them. All right, let me get off the optimistic side that I have right now, right? Let me talk to you straight from the other side. That don't help me. That doesn't help me. Because if you're telling me you've seen the inefficiencies of the third down against the New York Giants when you had to make the adjustments during that game, that means that you're not prepared for the next team who has a different defensive scheme. You have to be able to do this stuff during the game. If it takes you a week to do it, that's a problem. Okay? Now that's the bad side of me. Okay? Bear with me because I'm also optimistic. Because there's a possibility that they went over and looked at it and notice one thing for sure. Third down inefficiencies can also be prevented if you're not third and long every time. That means first down and 10, you don't do the same run play from the pistol. Second down and 10, you don't do the same run play from the pistol. And then third down, I try to throw the ball somewhere right over there to the side and only get you 3 yards. So I believe that they may have figured that out, right? I believe they figured that out. Not only that, maybe they're going to open the playbook up and the third down inefficiencies will wilter away. And again, listen, I'm not trying to be too hard on it because think about it. Some of them misplays. Jalen Hurts down to Devontae Smith or Jalen Hurts to A.J. Brown. If the catch is made, it's not overthrown or anything like that, this whole conversation changes, right? That means they were able to be more successful on the third down. It doesn't change the fact that they're still running them same plays from out of the same formation, right? And it's not getting you no yards. So I think they might have got the right answer. And then I'm going to go ahead and pull this part because Kevin Patello had an interview as well. And his wasn't as bad. But let me explain what he said. One of the main points he came from was communication from players has been productive. Okay? So just add what I just said and then add what Kevin said and saying that they talk to people. And I think that's a thing that is necessary, right? The leaders or the offensive coaches talk to their players, and I hope the players wasn't quiet. I hope they spoke their mind. I hope they really gave them all the information that they needed to give them to make sure that they could get pushed and succeed. So that's one thing I need to credit Nick Sirianni. He's a player's coach, and he does go to these individuals as well as his other coaches to ensure that things are running correctly, right? So if the information was positive, and if they take the positive information and actually apply it, then we might have something going good. So you ask me, do I think we're screwed? Not so fast. We're going to keep this moving. Not so fast. I don't think we're screwed so fast, right? Now, I have to say this one point. Graziano and Fowler of ESPN. Fowler said that after the New York Giants game, he spoke with one of the players from the Philadelphia Eagles. This is what he said. He said that the Eagles player said he's starting to get the vibes of 23. And you know 23 season did not end well. We had a great record, but we wasn't looking good, and it did not end well, right? Now, if this player is saying this just because it's the losing aspect plus the media throwing all that negativity to them, I get it. If he's saying it because he feels it and the stuff that's inside the locker room is also giving him that type of vibe, then we have a little problem. because the locker room does matter. And I understand they're in turmoil, but that when you're in turmoil, you got to come together. You got to at least have that. And if you have that, then maybe we can move forward to another area and to help us begin to look better, get better, and actually do better. Okay? So I don't know which one it is. Again, you asked me, are we screwed? Not so fast. I don't think we're screwed so fast. Now, A.J. Brown. This question came in from Leroy, New Jersey. Leroy says, is A.J. Brown getting traded? Well, if you watch the rest of the world or the news, you'll see a whole bunch of reports of A.J. Brown getting traded. You also, Mike Florio and Chris Sims be hating sometimes. I'm just saying that right now. They asked the question. They said, why is Jalen not throwing the ball to A.J. Brown, throwing single coverage? And then they also stated that they believe A.J. Brown will be traded in the coming weeks. They would not be stunned if he's traded in a couple of weeks. Well, family, I'm here to tell you that if you see anything like that, and I'm putting this on me, this is my opinion, he's not getting traded. Howie ain't stupid. Howie's smart. Howie also doesn't want to look like he messed up. So he's not doing that. Stop putting words in A.J. Brown's mouth. Just because you see a tweet and you decide that you can decipher his tweet and say he's unhappy, he's ready to go, yet the man keeps saying, I'd rather stay here in Philadelphia, but he does not like what's going on, you're going to say in hit that he's ready to go. Or he's so much of a problem to the Philadelphia Eagles, I can see Howie Roseman and Jeff Lurie saying he has to go. Do you think that A.J. Brown is not one of the major parts of this Philadelphia Eagles team? One of the major reasons why we went to the Super Bowl. One of the major reasons why we win the Super Bowl. He is. A.J. Brown ain't going nowhere. I'm not going to spend too much time on that because that noise is going to keep coming. It's going to keep coming all year. And if they keep losing, it's going to come even harder. You feel me? He's not getting traded. If he gets traded, I was wrong. I'll make sure I come up here and tell you. But I don't think he's getting traded. All right. Third question. This is coming from Susan says, should the GM Howie Roseman make a trade to address defense and depth? Thank you for your question. And to answer your question, that's a yes. Howie should. Here's the problem. Howie, listen, he's like Ryan Howard stepping up to the bat. Home run central. He hits home runs like galore, like a bunch of them. But he also strikes out a lot. Now with Howie, he's been hitting crazy lately. He does his thing, right? But a lot of times, and I said this in my other video, when he has to make a Band-Aid, it becomes a little ugly. Those Band-Aids, the blood just still be gushing. Because I'm trying to fix this. I'm trying to fix this. And to be honest with you, I'm actually starting to think that the players he picks, it's not about the players he picks. It be so much more of a problem coming from system level that when these players get plugged in, it's not working for them. So if you're trying to plug in some players for Vic Fangio, which I actually like his system, so his system is good and still in place. And yes, more of the problems over there on the offensive side. But if you're getting these players and Band-Aids for Vic Fangio's system, the thing about his system is, you got to have a right player, especially when it comes for cornerback for his system, because it won't work, right? Even for some linebackers or defensive ends, it may not work. Everybody can't be a plug and play. So that's the problem when it comes to Band-Aids. But if you go for a shout out, a sure thing, you know you're paying some money first off for sure thing. Or you giving up something for somebody that you know is that plug and play type of dude. Like Trey Hendrickson. You know you know what you're getting, right? But anything else, like some of the other things, it may not work or it may work, right? So I don't want to do too much Band-Aids. You got a lot of people within the system, but you do have to address the situation. Especially for me, you got to address cornerback. You got to get somebody that's worth something. And I'm so mad still that we got rid of Isaiah Rodgers. But I also heard that Isaiah Rodgers may have been offered something, but they wasn't sure if the actual agent got back to the Philadelphia Eagles. So if that was the case, I can't even say nothing to the Philadelphia Eagles. It just ain't work, right? He was ready to go. It is what it is. We're going to see him this Sunday, though, right? Now, just to address that, too, they have a couple players, 4 edges. These seem to be coming out a lot more. High fire. Bradley Chubb, Jalen Phillips. I talked about them before from the Dolphins. Bradley Chubb was inside Vic Fangio's system before. So was this other name, Draymond Jones from the Tennessee Titans, which I don't see why they're trading, but whatever, possibility. And then they said Jermaine Johnson from the Jets. So, I said what I said about the Jets. We got Bryce Huff, and that just did not work out. But, hey, if we get Jermaine Johnson and it happens to be a good fit, I'm all for it. Other than that, there's a couple cornerbacks out there, but they've really been hot on the edges all of a sudden. And that's how I know everybody don't be knowing what they talking about. Because as soon as something go wrong, they like, oh, he's going straight for this. Well, he ain't say that. I don't have no insiders saying that. I got to get me some insiders. You know what I'm saying? So that's that. All right. So, yes. Appreciate your question. Next thing is, we are preparing for Minnesota Vikings. I already said Isaiah Rodgers coming back. Their defense is looking okay. Their defense is looking pretty good. The offense they're coming to as well. They got some things they have to fix with Minnesota. Like we got to fix some things with Philadelphia. So I think it's a winnable game. All right. Now, as far as the sports betting line, had us, the Philadelphia Eagles, 1.5 to 2 points favored. But most of the experts are saying that the Philadelphia Eagles are going to lose in a narrow scoring way. What do I say? I think we're actually going to win. I hope it looks great. And here's another thing. The offense. Again, if they made them connections during them other games, we're not really talking too much about it. But one thing I do know is that the offense, if they could even give us 3 great quarters, that changes the game too. 3. We've only been playing 2 good quarters. And sometimes it's really 1.5 because the other half was like, right? So I hope they could give us a complete game. That would be great. But the one thing we need to look forward to is just to see if they're making steps towards the right way. Making steps towards the right way, that helps the defense alone. Defense just needs some help. I need to get off the field. I ain't trying to carry you all day. Help me, help you. That's basically where we at with it. All right? Now, injury list real quick. This is the good news I got for you, Philadelphia. And I'm pretty sure you already seen it. If you didn't, I'm about to tell you right now. Landon Dickerson, Quinyon Mitchell, Jalen Carter was at practice today. They was at practice today. So today is Wednesday. That looks great. We had that little mini bye week. I think it did good for each player. We'll see what happens because Landon Dickerson, I know he's been hurt all year for real, if you really think about it. And at the end of the year, he had to get that work done to his knee. So, yeah, I don't know. He still may not play this game, right? But everybody was at practice. And that's a good thing. All right. That is a good thing. Other than that, that's all I have for you today. I appreciate you hanging out with me. I hope this wasn't too long. And if you need to start fast forwarding, whatever, I feel you. But hit that like, hit that comment, subscribe, help my channel grow so that I can continue to grow and continue to put out some good material. And then, we could be rocking, man. Any questions you have, please send it to my email. Any suggestions you have, comment down below. I don't care which one. Make sure you hit the like button because that's major. I see once you hit that like button, my algorithm go like boom, bam. I'm trying to keep it that way, all right? Now, this is Will. I'm totally out of here. Continue to be who you are. Motivate is what we do. Motivate somebody close to you. Peace.